Hi everybody, I'm Joe Spadaford. Welcome back to another How to Draw. Today we're going to be drawing Huckleberry Larry and Tomato Sawyer from the Big River Rescue. And I'd like to get started. We're going to draw Huck and Tom together with Tom's lucky fishing pole. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to start off by drawing Larry. Larry is a stretched circle shape. We're going to have him bending over next to Bob. Bob is going to be down here, leaning next to his old pal Larry. In this case is Huckleberry Larry. And now I'm drawing a center line. And the center line is going to tell me where the eyeballs are going to be on the characters. Okay, so I got that set up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the eyes. Just kind of block in where I think the eyes are going to be on the characters. And they're not perfect circles, they're kind of oblong shapes. I'm going to draw the nose on each of the characters. And I'll draw the mouths. The mouths are U shapes. Larry has got a little tooth in there. Tom doesn't normally open his mouth all that much, so we'll just give him a little smile. And we're going to put him looking up. So 2 circles looking up and a little circle inside for the highlight. And we'll have Larry looking down. So I'll put the 2 circles there. And just like on Tom, I'll put another circle in there for the highlight. And I'm just going to add another little line to the top of Larry's eyelid just to show that there's some sort of an eyelid there. All right, now Huckleberry has got a hat as well as Tom. It's pretty simple. You just draw a straight line across with a little bit of bend and this little almost football shape just to start yourself off. And then on top of it, just draw a little rectangle to start off with. And then you can swoop the rectangle if you'd like. And then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to figure out where his collar is, which is here. I'm going to put a little V. And then I'm going to draw his collar. I'm going to draw a collar looping around and a collar looping here. But I can't draw it going all the way across because he's got suspenders. So to draw suspenders, just draw this box-like shape that goes around and draw a line here. Then that's where his pants are going to be. And his pants don't go all the way down. See, this is the bottom of him. Now the shirt, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. Just going to put a little bit of a bulge in the shirt. And he's also a little raggedy, so we're going to put some little rips in his shirt and also in his hat. Same thing with Bob. And don't be afraid to draw over your drawing a little bit. It's okay. You're going to color over this in a second here. Bob's hat is the same kind of way. You draw that kind of football shape. Just imagine it going all the way through. And coming up. And Bob has got his lucky fishing pole. So I'm just going to draw the straight line with these little circles at the end and a line coming down here with a hook. So one of the last things here I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little triangle in Bob's hat because he's a little dented up too. Okay, well, so this is pretty much where we're gonna stop for a moment, let you guys catch up, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and color these guys. And hopefully you'll come back and you'll color some nice characters. All right, so now I've got a bunch of colors ready in my hands already here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start blocking in, the lines right now are blue, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some colored lines in there, and then I'm just going to fill in all the blanks. So here we go. Larry is green, so let's get sort of a greenish color in there. And this is also kind of a nice way of finalizing the line. So I just go darker, I push a little harder. I know his hat's brown, so I'm gonna change his the color I use for the line on his hat. And the same thing with his shirt. Even though it's not brown, it's a little lighter color. This is just a quick way of just deciding what you think is the best color. The same for his shorts. Gonna do the same with Bob now. Bob, gonna put a little bit of red. Okay, and his hat. All right. So I'm just kind of blocking in all the areas here. And same thing with this lucky fishing pole. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some blacks. I'm gonna go into the eyes on the characters. I like to see the eyes done first. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just color in all the areas that I know are brown. We'll start off with the brown. Huck's got a little button down here, so it's tough to get a real dark color. So I'll put a little black in there. And then his shirt is kind of a tan, so I'll color that in next. Same thing with his hat. What I'm going to do actually is, just to make it look like it's the lower parts and a little bit of shadows, I'm going to push, keeping that tan underneath, I'm going to push another darker color there, and I'll probably push it over here too. I'll probably do the same down here, just to make it look like there's some sort of shadow coming from this way. Okay, so that's his basic body. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in his skin, which is green, because he's a cucumber, not a pickle. Now what you can actually do is take that same blue, or that same dark green that I used in the beginning, and get that same kind of shadow color creeping in just a little bit on the side. And on the bottom too. Okay, and let's get Tom now. So let's get Tom. It's red, obviously, because he's a tomato. I'm just going to be careful not to get into his eyes. Darken this side just a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is he's got a little bit different colored hat. It's a little redder. So I'm just going to start off by putting a red in the hat. Then I'm going to go over it with brown. And those colors do tend to mix. It's almost like mixing paint in a way. Okay, now for the very last thing, I'm going to get his fishing pole colored in. Start off with just a little bit of a yellow and go in with a little bit of brown. It's kind of a bamboo pole. What I'll do now, just to bring stuff out, is I'll just go in with a black pencil here, or crayon here, just to, like if I've lost a smile. And it's also good for the fishing wire. I'll do the same thing on Huck, even though I think he's reading all right, but go to the areas that I think are a little bit harder to see. Okay, and just a little bit around his eyes, a little bit at his nose. And what I like to finish off doing is just by putting a little color behind him. Tends to pop him out a little bit more. Okay, so that's Tomato, Sawyer, and Huckleberry Larry. Last thing we got to do, thing we always do here is we always sign our artwork. Joe, age, you got to put how old you were. This time, I'm 30. Okay, thanks again for joining us, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.